Robert Earl, flipflopaneer.com. One contact, one list, one set of email messages. This is how most systems, email systems, handle and take a one-size-fits-all approach to email drip campaigns. And if you want to change a contact from one set of messages to another, you have to manually go into the system to make the changes. ActiveCampaign does email marketing the right way with automations that adapt your plan based upon set actions that the contact takes. In this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about the automations module in ActiveCampaign and how this functionality can be used to take your internet marketing and automation to the next level. Now, if you're new to this channel, I invite you to drop anchor and hit the subscribe button and click the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Let's go ahead and jump into ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign Automations. You'll see here I'm in the automation screen, and in a video that I'll link up above where we were working with forms, one of the automations or one of the integrations that they had launched or created an automation over here. Now, with regard to automations, I could probably spend a week's worth of time talking about automations in general, or I could dive into specific cases. I'm not going to do that. This is designed to be a overview to give you everything that you need to know. But let's go ahead and jump into this automation that was created. When the automation is first created, it has that the contact was submitted via the form. I could have other triggers that go on to this. The triggers could come from other activities, whether a tag was added to an individual, whether there was other conditions that were met. And at any time that I want to add on other information, I can do so. The form that we used was just a simple email and name form. So it comes in, the contact was submitted, and now I have the opportunity to add other activities to this automation. Okay, anytime that you want to add an additional step into the automation, you could do so by pressing the plus button, and it'll take you to the new actions. Now, with regard to the actions, you can send a message, whether that be via email, whether it be a site message that will appear on your website to the contact. If you have that information or you have that level of the system, you can send an SMS message. The text message rates do apply, so you do have to pay additional for that. You can also do a notification email. The notification email would go to this people that you identify, up to 5 email addresses. So this might let your sales team know or your service team know that you got a new contact in. Other actions that you can add on here is you can have it wait for a period of time, or there are other automations that will occur. One of the most powerful automations that you can have is the if-else, and I'll talk about that in just a little bit. You can also make adjustments to the contact themselves as to adding, removing tags, adding a note. You can go into the CRM portion of the pipeline and put steps in there, add them to a particular deal. There also is integration with Salesforce and CX apps that go into here, including Google Sheets. So I'm going to go back through and I'm going to set the automation that I can do an email. Well, if I did so, then I have to go in and actually create an email. And now we're starting to go into the steps of the automation system. Anytime that you go to create an email within the system, you have a complete template system that you can utilize. You can either create your own templates, building from scratch. You can utilize some of the pre-written templates that are in the system. And then once you've made modifications or changes to the template, you can then save it as your own customized template if you've added your logo, different information that goes in here. When you're actually creating an email that will be included into your follow-up system, one of the aspects that you can add is personalization. You can go into the message itself and personalize the data that shows up. So it's not just within the header that you can do this, but if I wanted to add an additional line here and personalize it, it will give me all of the tags that are available or the different contact fields. I can also have some pre-written messages that I could include based upon the information that's there. So here are some of the data fields that I can add in as personalization for the specific contact. The email works off of different blocks that I can add in. Text blocks, I can include in an image, have buttons, and again with the tracking system and the automation system, I could have different actions occur based upon them clicking the button. Also embedding a video, putting different spacers or breaks in there, an RSS feed so I could have a email that sent out my latest blog posting and I could have it set up that particular way. Or if I'm working with a shopping system, I could include the abandoned cart information that goes into it. My options, I have the ability to also change the look, the feel, the layout. I can put different information in here from the welcome or the background that they're able to see for the email. On the particular email, I can set the from address. If I want a different reply to, I can do the information there. Right now for compliance, because this is a new account, I haven't set up the physical mailing address because that's needed for the spam compliance to go through. Now, here's some of the options that I can have. Had I set that particular button, I could have done some link tracking that's here. I also can do open and read tracking, and that could fire off a particular automation. The link tracking that we talked about, I also can look at whether or not somebody replied. Now, when they do a reply to, the reply to email address is going to be a little bit different so that it can track that it was a specific reply to. I can also do integration with Google Analytics. Can do a test of the email, and it also goes through and does a spam check to find out whether or not I'm being in compliance with my information. I'm just going to skip over that right at this point. Okay, so you see that it's added in the step to my particular automation, that someone has submitted the free form, and now they've gone into the initial email, which is currently marked as a draft. If I wanted to add on additional steps, this is where I could do this. I could do the options over here and drag them in, or I could press the plus button and it'll take me back to that option screen. If I didn't want to go through the steps myself of creating this from scratch, I have the ability to work with recipes, with different recipes that are in here. And the different recipes can be broken down by particular industries. As to the information that comes in here, whether it be they've got blogger, they've got fitness, they've got real estate, a consulting agency, or I can go through the list one by one or do a particular search that I have in here. So if I search the recipes and I want to see things like tag, well, then I can look through the information. Let's say that I wanted to have my information. I wanted to see if there was a tag that was added based upon the custom field. Well, this is where I could add that information into my recipe or create the automation based upon this. There are some times where I'll take a custom recipe or a recipe that's been built. I'll take a look at what's available to me, what's in the system, and then I'll be able to go through and look at what the particular steps are and how I can actually go through. So here it's asking me, again, based upon the information, when is this going to start? But I could actually take these steps and incorporate them into an existing automation that I already have. There are the recipes that are available within the system, but also at ActiveCampaign under the marketplace, and I'm going to include a link down here in the video so that you'll be able to tell or look for other recipes that you want to consider. And there's a number of them where we just went through the apply tags based upon custom fields. with a Shopify store integration that you can send a notification for the purchase. There's an email series for a webinar reminder, so incorporating this in with a landing page or a webinar system that would also be able to put the details in here. If you had a lead magnet and that lead magnet you needed to trigger deals, that recipe is already pre-written for you to be able to incorporate into the automation system. As of right now, none of these automations are marked as active, so they would not be triggered. But some other information that I can look at with these particular automations is I could see if there are any contacts that are within the automation. And if I look at the specific, if I pulled up the automation and I have contacts going through it, I can see what step they're at within the automations. I can look to see how many campaigns or emails there are within this. So during this welcome series 1, you see that there's the welcome email, there's some next steps, and there's a reminder to the welcome that goes into it. And then there is also any goals that are set for this for your pipeline, so that you can say, did they accomplish what you were looking for? Did they actually purchase? Did they give you more information? If you had just strictly captured a name and email address, did they actually give you more information and move the sales process further down the line? As a sub-menu here under automations, you also can manage messages. In this particular case, it's showing you the messages that are included in a series. So if I click on the welcome series, instead of having to go and open up the entire automation and see which edits or which messages are there, I can go through and I can do the edits of these particular messages, change the templates, change the email messages right here. So here you can look at the automation maps. It's a different way to look at how your automations are incorporated together. This automation maps gives you an opportunity to look at your automations in one place. You also have the ability to filter or look at which ones are based upon subscribing to a list, your unsubscribes, which filters or which automations include opening, reading an email, forwarding an email if a goal's been achieved. So this gives you an opportunity to really look at those different messages that you have and filter it out so you can see your different automations. In the case of what we have going here, only the welcome series is showing up for those that include subscribing to a list because I haven't turned on the other systems with that type of functionality. One of the things that I really like about the automations when it comes to ActiveCampaign is that the automations are included. They're included at all 4 levels of subscription, no matter how many contacts you have. So the light version does include automations. Now, what can be triggered from the automations, meaning an email message with dynamic content or an SMS message, those types of things you will need the pro or professional systems. But if you need an automated system that has enough abilities to do your follow-up and then adjust that follow-up and do it in an automatic manner versus other systems that require you to go in, set your email, and schedule when it's going to go out, then ActiveCampaign would be a great choice for you. If you want to test it out yourself, there'll be a link down below for a 14-day free trial for you to be able to utilize ActiveCampaign and check it out for yourself. So I want to thank you in advance for taking a moment to leave a comment, to press that like button. I appreciate it. You can find out more about this topic and other internet marketing and affiliate marketing topics at flipflopaneer.com. Also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. So there's a beach calling my name. I'll catch you later.